Alright, and finally this winner bracket final is starting. PuffBros versus Euronics. The first map is Ententide, made by Waldfee, and this is a repeat of last week's winner bracket final as well, when PuffBros won it then, after it going to a decider map. So let's see if that's going to be the case as well for this match. Euronics will take the lead here. Called Junior joining the server late, which was why we had such a long break. And, well, he may not be that warmed up as a result, although not really showing any signs of that. I think also PuffBros have been preparing diligently for this event, training the maps. I think they also got their own server even with the maps. And going into lap 2, they will take over the lead as well, although it is a very close pack, as you can see. This is definitely the most even matchup on paper. Euronics may have a small lead right now. It's also tied in the relay 8-8. Anyone's round to win or lose. Right now maybe PuffBros having the advantage. Yeah, looks like they do. Devil has fallen behind for Euronics. And they will also fail that next relay. So now PuffBros in the lead with 1 point. No, actually not. They must have failed a relay of their own. So it's still tied up. But PuffBros having the lead on the track, and soon only one more lap left to go. Curious if this was PuffBros or Euronics' choice. I think actually it was Euronics' choice, but well, it looks like PuffBros will take this first round, unless something drastic happens here in the end. Soon only one lap remaining. And this is of course now a full Team Dignitas lineup since Wally is not driving. Still keeping it together nicely, 19-19 in the relay. As we are now live into the final lap. PuffBros will miss that next checkpoint, but that could be deliberately. Yes, it looks like it is. Maybe a bit too early though. If Euronics are smart, they will go for the relays here and then they could actually close it out. But they are not though. They are falling for PuffBros going for the checkpoints here. And now PuffBros are closing or slowing down, but they don't have to because Euronics are not taking advantage of the situation. And PuffBros will take the first round. Yeah, I think if Euronics had been a bit cooler in that situation, they could have closed it out. Really also writing in the chat, mind games, and yeah, I think they got affected by PuffBros going for the end so early, so that they felt like they had to do the same, but in reality it would have been best if they didn't. So PuffBros will take the first point, and we are live into the second round. So we saw Devil making a blunder there for Euronics. Now it's Euronics, Realu's turn to make a blunder in the start. So PuffBros will go up in the lead here again. A bit earlier this time compared to the first round. It's really key that you avoid those small mistakes. Especially the bigger mistakes, but also the small ones can cost a lot of time, since your teammates will have to wait for you, and that will cost a lot of time. And as Pack will hit the wall, I think he got a small bump, and PuffBros gonna fail the next relay as a result. Still though keeping the lead on the track, but yeah, one minor mistake can cost the team a lot. As we saw good evidence of that. Euronics now also in the lead with 8-6 in the relay count, so they are in a very good position now to win this round. Let's follow them here, see if they can win it in the relay. No, they can't. PuffBros will have to fail another one. If they do, then Euronics would take it. But since they have this advantage, they could go for the finish way earlier. I think maybe even at the start of the final lap. They could potentially go for it, but let's see though what's gonna happen. Not the best checkpoint from Euronics there, so PuffBros adding on their lead. And Euronics now no longer with a 2-point lead either. They have missed a checkpoint. So despite being in a pretty good situation here, they can't take advantage of it by the looks of it, and PuffBros could go up to map point here as they enter the final lap. And Euronics, let's see now, will they wait and be a bit cooler? It's a very interesting situation here. PuffBros also need to be aware of what Euronics are doing. So far they are also keeping cool, they are not going for the finish, which is a smart decision. Now maybe Euronics are going for it, and now I think PuffBros will react on it. Yes, Pack is going for the finish. So they are keeping track of the other team very in a very good way. Of course, they also have Wally in spec mode, and he could maybe give them some information about Euronics. I think that is the best way to do it, as we see PuffBros winning that round. So basically, you have your 3 players, but then you also have a 4th player in spec mode that will let the team know over TeamSpeak what the other team is doing. So I don't know if that's what PuffBros are doing or not, but I would say, on paper at least, that is a pretty good strategy to implement. All right, so PuffBros up to map point. Not really been that challenged on this first map. Let's see if they can close it out here in the 3rd round. Okay, Wally is AFK. In that case, then they just based it on maybe looking backwards, or I don't know exactly. Maybe they have someone else, but yeah, I think it does take quite a bit of team communication skill to know exactly where your opponents are and what they will do when they will go for the finish. It's a lot to keep track of, while at the same time, of course, going through the course correctly, passing the checkpoints. As we see, Euronics doing best right now. They are in the lead with 8-7, and also having overtaken PuffBros on the track. So maybe Euronics could get their first point. Although then they have a very slow drop. PuffBros catching up rapidly, and now it's all one big group of players. Going through the final corner, entering lap 3. Euronics now back in the lead with a better start. PuffBros maybe a bit more comfortable on the second half of the track. But yeah, right now Euronics are building up their lead. Let's see if they can do this part better. Yes, seems like they do, although I would say PuffBros are catching up a bit again. So they are still able to maybe get this point and close out the first map. Soon entering the last lap. What's gonna happen? It's 19-18 in the relay count for Euronics. Going into the final lap. PuffBros are going for the finish already, but Euronics should not though. They should take it safe here and go for the checkpoint, I think, but they are not. Rilu is going for the finish as well, so as long as Rilu can stay in front. Oh, as Called Jr. loses his grip in the downhill, that's not gonna help. It looks like Euronics should take this one as long as Rilu doesn't mess up. If he does so, Shorty is still at second, so this is looking good for Euronics. Not many turns left to go. Pack is the closest one for PuffBros, but he's still got quite far up to Rilu, who is going through the final corner now. Shorty still keeping that second place, and Rilu will secure Euronics' first point. Quite an exciting round. So it's still not over. Euronics putting the score at 1-2. And every time we see all 4 laps, we do have a bit of a longer wait until the next round. And we also see Euronics with a pause, so something must have happened. Yes, Rilu has disconnected, which isn't the first time, so I think he will be back very shortly, and then we can continue this match. Although we do see PuffBros not winning with 1-3. I think that is a bug. So they may have to call for an admin now to fix the score. we are still on the first map here. Yeah, we are moving on now to the next map, I think, but score is 1-2. Marius now also wanna call for an admin, and we see Josie with a quick appearance. So should be fixed here, as we are still waiting for Relu to return to the server. Yeah, so we are going back to Ententite, the first map. The score is 1-2 in favor of PuffBros. Euronics able to win that previous round in close fashion. So right now, waiting for the admin to go back to the first map. And well, Relu's still not back, so maybe they have to replace him. Potentially. Oh, no, we see Relu back on the server now, so he should be good to go. Still need to wait for the admin though to fix up the server, if possible. I don't know if it is. But yeah, this is of course the winner bracket final. The winners will advance to the grand final, and with that also guaranteed some prize money. I have a feeling whoever loses this match will still reach the grand final, unless we see what happened last week where Orcs surprisingly defeated Euronics in the consolidation final. That is a best of one though, so it is maybe a bit more possible for other teams to make an upset. Best of three definitely favors the better teams, I would say. Alright, so we are back on Ententite. See if the points can also be added. 1-2 is the score for PuffBros. And the admin says you have to set the score yourself with the in-game vote. So still a bit of a wait here. And well, yeah, I suppose we could just pretend that the score is 1-2 as well. It doesn't really matter too much. Players don't even know how to vote, so I would say they should just go for it. We know the score, so that's also what the players are discussing right now. So yeah, we are still waiting here. The timer though is running down, so alright, now we see the vote here. So okay, the vote is passed. 1-2 is the score, and we are going live here in 5 seconds. PuffBros versus Euronics. First map. Ententite by Waldfee, and off we not go since Relu is standing still. Yay. Okay, there's a pause actually, so that was not live. Okay, now it's live. After a long wait, Relu disconnected from the server, and then that messed up the server, but now we are good to go. 1-2 is the score in favor of PuffBros, which means that they have map point here on the first map. We'll see if this long break will affect the teams. Sometimes it could mess up the focus. As we see PuffBros with a slightly better start. Pack landing a lot to the left. Almost hit the wall. Euronics with much more speed now over the drop. And through the platform, they are back in it. It's neck and neck, following Relu, switching to Spam, entering lap 2. Anyone's round to win. Saw Pack making a mistake in the previous round, I believe. That's what allowed Euronics to build up that lead and eventually also making them win the round. So one minor mistake can make a big difference. So far, none of the teams have made any mistakes, I would say. It's very close still. Shorty, Devil, and Relu in the lead. 11-11 in the relay count. Still very close here. As we are now entering lap 3. Great turn here from PuffBros at the start of the next lap, but then loses a bit of speed here again. Very close though, it's impossible to call it. Could go either way, and I have a feeling we might see another dash to the finish, although Euronics are in the lead now, 16-15. So they definitely have the advantage, can go for the finish earlier than PuffBros. I would say at the start of the final lap even. Could be a wise decision, especially if PuffBros also goes for it. Oh, but they don't have to. PuffBros missing a couple of checkpoints, and Euronics will bring it back after being behind with 0-2. So we will see a last round here on the first map. Whoever wins it will also win the first map. Initially, I would say PuffBros looked a bit stronger on this first map, but Euronics definitely showing some strength here on the 2 previous rounds. So I have no clue who's gonna win this one. Let's just watch and see. As we switched here to Devil, playing for Euronics. Started off as a Canyon player, but then switched to Stadium. I think he might still play Canyon though, so does Relu. And also Marius89. Shodi though, I think only plays Stadium. And of course PuffBros consisting of Team Dignitas members plus Wally, all playing mainly Tech. Although Pack also started as a Canyon player in fact. But anyways, let's focus on this last round. Euronics keeping the lead once again, so they are in a good phase at the moment. Can they keep it all the way to the end though and complete the comeback? 2 more laps remaining after this. So far, so good for Euronics. PuffBros now in a dire situation. Needs to come back from this somehow without missing the checkpoints at the same time. As we now enter lap 3 out of 4. Whoa! Spam clips the wall, and that should be it now. If Euronics doesn't make a mistake of their own, Call Jr. will have to slow down. He's gonna go through that checkpoint, and that will be enough for Euronics to bring it back and winning 3 rounds in a row to win the first map. Great stuff from Euronics. Kinda counted them out in the beginning of that map, but they definitely showed that they shouldn't be underestimated. And we are moving on now to the second map, which I think is PuffBros' pick. So let's find out which map will be played next here. It's going to be Blank by MD Point. No, Marius89 says wrong map. Yeah, because of what happened earlier, I suppose. The whole server is messed up, so we need the admin again. And now also Wally joining the server, so could see a potential switch in PuffBros. The 2 Canadians will switch positions here. Wally was in spec mode. And maybe also Euronics will switch a player. Seen these 2 teams doing that often, and I suppose that is an advantage to have, especially with 9 maps to practice. So still early on, these maps are not been out too long, so it makes sense if you have a team consisting of more than 3 players that you take advantage of that fully. Yeah, so we need another admin here. No, wait, we see a vote, so maybe it's possible to solve this issue. Alright, see if this will fix it or not. So now we are moving on to Intermittent by Rex Racer. I believe this was PuffBros' pick. Yeah, so Euronics, they recruited Marius89, Shorty and Rielu 2 weeks ago. The first Chase Cup was the first event they participated in. Of course, Tamarillo and Devil already being in the Euronics lineup. They won't be playing though in team tournaments, from what I understand. Well, this is a team tournament, I guess, but a traditional team tournament, a 5v5 or 4v4. Alright, so yeah, we are going to start here in just a few seconds. The timer is running out. We're ticking down. 45 seconds left. Euronics winning the first map. If they win the second one, they will qualify to the grand final. While we are waiting here, let's let's take a look at the bracket. So Orcs and the Beber and Company are playing against each other in the loser bracket final. That match should, I think, end before this one. So the next match after this should be the consolidation final. And that is a best of one, so should be a bit shorter. Alright, 5 seconds left on the clock. We are about to continue this winner bracket final between Euronics and PuffBros. It's been very close so far. Every time these two teams have faced off against each other. And I have a feeling it could be the case again here on the second map. Intermittent by Rex Racer, a map that I haven't really seen played that much so far. Definitely one of the least played maps, I would say. So we'll see how the teams will do on it. I think PuffBros have played this at least once before that I know of. I cast a match where they played this against Team Acer. So, oh, what a crash from Pack and Wally in the same turn, leaving Spam alone at the top. And, well, that's gonna make Euronics win this round. I don't see them losing it now, especially since they know of the crashes as well. And that's gonna be it. Looks like PuffBros actually decided to forfeit the round, which I think maybe was a wise decision. Want to just forget about that round as quickly as possible and move on. But yeah, definitely cannot afford those kind of crashes. So I think they are going to try and drive through that turn a bit safer as we go live here in the second round. But a great start though for Euronics. In the lead here with 1-0 and 2 points away from qualifying to the grand final. Ooh, as Wally slows down a lot here before the loop, not able to make the jump completely, and I think Euronics may take advantage of that. Spam can cross that next checkpoint, but then he has to wait for Wally. So Euronics up in the lead. This map, a bit more of a speedy one, speed tech I would call it, which maybe is more in favor of Euronics. At least does look like it right now. I think maybe PuffBros likes those slower tracks a bit more. So Euronics in the lead now with 5-4 and also in the lead on the track. Let's take a look here with the overview camera, zooming in. PuffBros maybe gaining a bit on Euronics as they enter the loop. Let's switch to a PuffBros player. Spam is right now leading his team. Void's crashing in the wall, that's good. But they are definitely in a pretty bad situation right now. Behind in the relay as well. Euronics very close to reaching match point. Pack now having to enter the next checkpoint, but he doesn't get to, since Euronics will close it out. Another couple of relay mistakes here from PuffBros. Turns out to be very decisive. And Euronics now quickly up to match point at 2-0. Alright, so this could be the last round of this winner bracket final. PuffBros not really looking as good on this map, so I guess Euronics did well by getting this map played, opting to not remove it in the map veto. Although PuffBros did the same, so maybe they thought they would do better here, but seems to not be the case. Euronics up in the lead here again early on the first lap. They seem to be better prepared on this map. But again, also I think maybe a bit more speedy tracks may fit them better. So we might see Euronics going for those speedier tracks in the grand final as well. Of course, I'm pretty sure PuffBros would remove this map if they meet again, since they aren't really doing so well on it. Oh, unfortunate crash from Spam once again, and that should be it if Euronics does what they need to do, which is to drive safe and not make any mistakes. 7-5 could close it out in the next checkpoint, as Pack and Wally are waiting for Spam or for Wally maybe. Wally also far behind. This should be it for Euronics either way. And they will close it out, winning the second map with a score of 3-0 to advance to the grand final. GG!